Hi, Sweeney. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. I hope you are great. I love to say things like this because a few days ago she was saying that she's not going to apologize and that her gene is better, right? You can imagine having the opportunity to work with a big celebrity, right? And the celebrity, it's like, saying that I can work with her because of the things she has said and because of her political stand. Woo! I thought you guys said, like racism is going to favor you guys in this period. It might favor some people and it will not favor some people. And the ones that it has been favoring very soon, it will not favor them anymore. You think it's cool to be racist? No, it is not cool. There ain't anything cool about it. So Zendaya told Sydney Sweeney, or whatever her name is, that she ain't working with her and that it's on period. She actually released a movie and the movie flopped because of her stand. Period. I love it. I love to see things like this. I love to see things happen to people in real life because sometimes they go on camera to really be racist against people that look like me and think they will get away with it. I've been saying this thing before and I've said this thing before and I will say it again. Be very careful how you treat Black people, most especially when you have a business, because that your business can go from 100 to 0.0. I said what I said, and that it's on period. Let's get into this video.
Ooh, y'all, the streets are saying that Zendaya is refusing to do red carpets with Sydney Sweeney because of her stance and the outrage from the Great Jeans commercial. So in case you didn't know, they've been filming for season 3 of Euphoria, which we've been dying for. Like, what took y'all so long? Anyway, it seems like the filming has wrapped up and they're supposed to be doing red carpet appearances. Now, for some context, Sydney Sweeney recently did an interview with a journalist, and when she was asked about how she felt that the president spoke out on her behalf, this was her response.
Like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal. And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, and conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public.
Apparently, that didn't sit right with Zendaya, as it shouldn't, and she's saying that she cannot be seen out with her promoting Euphoria. And I don't blame her, because what are we talking about? But I guess we're going to see in upcoming interviews and on the red carpet if Zendaya stands 10 toes down on that, which she honestly could, because Zendaya is the program. She's not just bigger than the program, she's the program.
So Sydney Sweeney's movie Christy ended up flopping, and that's not really surprising to me because she built up a fan base of right-wing incel losers. And I don't know why she thought that picking up a movie about a lesbian boxer that is going through domestic violence with a man would work out and be successful with her fan base. Because like if you're if you're going after the male gaze and you're not in like OF or any kind of like adult content, you're setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're like a movie actress. Because that just makes no sense to me, bro. Anything that is adjacent to being woke is not going to appease your fan base. And it's really unfortunate for her career because she was on an upward trajectory, bro. But she's had like, 3 flops back to back to back. And also, I don't know if Madam Web was a flop, but that's actually one of the worst movies ever made. However, it's hilarious, but not on purpose. God, Madam Web is actual delicious garbage, like just some good filth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. I'm just not really surprised with this shit, bro, because it's like, one, her fans are not going to support a project like this, and two, I really didn't see that much promotion for it. Like, I just recently went to a movie like a few weeks ago, and I saw that trailer, and it really didn't look interesting. And then when I seen it with Sydney Sweeney in it, I was like, I don't know about this, bro. So, yeah, man, she just cannot stop taking L's.
And Zendaya says she ain't gonna be on no set with Sydney Sweeney. I know that's right. Because when I watched that American Eagle interview, it was weird. Like, it was racist. Like, Then her family is open Trump supporters. It just give racist. Like, I don't know. She throwing me off. I just think they need to get her off the show. Because y'all have to remember, It's a lot of different groups that watch Euphoria. It's not just one race. Black people watch it. It's not just white people that watch it. And it makes Euphoria look bad. It makes people not want to watch the show because they have a racist acting on the show. Hello? And honestly, like, I wouldn't mind if they took her off the show. I mean, I don't feel like Cassie really needs to be in Euphoria no more. Like, her character is not a good character. Like, she literally effed her best friend's boyfriend. Hello? Like, that's not a good character. Like, she don't look good in that show no more. So I feel like I wouldn't really care if they kicked her off. I wouldn't. Like, I really want to see Zendaya. Like, I really don't feel like Sydney really doing anything for the show anyways. Like, she's not bringing nothing to the table. People is not watching for her. Like, we all watching for Zendaya. Somebody get her off Euphoria immediately.
Zendaya is a prime example of why people in Hollywood do not like rich black women. Zendaya obviously did not like the American Eagle jeans ad that Sydney Sweeney did, just like everybody else didn't like it. And Zendaya put her foot down and she said, I am not doing a press tour for Euphoria Season 3 with a racist. I don't have to. Everybody knows that Zendaya has more money than Sydney Sweeney. And when a rich black woman puts her foot down and she says, I am not doing this, I got too much money to do with this, this is why they want to keep us down. They want to have control over you and they can't control Zendaya. So I'm happy for Zendaya for putting her foot down and saying that she doesn't want to do the press tour with Sydney Sweeney. And obviously she doesn't have to because the show's still going to, be good whether they do a press tour together or not. I'm still going to support Euphoria Season 3 because I love the show and, I support Zendaya. But, this is going to be interesting since they're not getting along right now. I don't know how many other people on the show are not getting along, but this is going to be really interesting.
Inside sources are claiming that Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya are currently in a, quote, bitter feud. Here's what's going on. According to Daily Mail, Zendaya is refusing to stand by or do promo with Sydney Sweeney for Season 3 of Euphoria. And the reason for their feud seems to be because of their different political views as well as Sydney's recent controversies. By now, I'm sure we're all familiar with the controversy behind Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad, so I don't really feel the need to go that into details about it and make this video longer than it needs to be. But I did post a video recently about the ad and Sydney's response to it. I'll have it linked below if you want the full details. But anyways, let's get back to this feud. At this point, I feel like it's no secret that Sydney is also a supporter of the Trump administration, which Zendaya has been openly against throughout the years. In fact, in the 2020 election on her Instagram, Zendaya encouraged her fans to, quote, vote this MF out. So given her different views and the current political climate, it makes sense why Zendaya would try to distance herself from Sydney. With one source saying it's no wonder she's refusing to do it, it's a difficult position for Zendaya to be in because if she even stands next to Sydney on the red carpet, it can read as her excusing Sydney's views on Trump and her refusal to apologize for the racist ad. And clearly the controversies have had an impact on Sydney Sweeney's career. In fact, Sydney has had 3 movies released in theaters recently, and all 3 of them have bombed in the box office. And to me that shows that her name currently isn't holding the weight that it used to a year ago. So I'm really curious to see what her career looks like in the next couple of years, especially after Euphoria ends. I want to know what you guys think about this feud though, so be sure to let me know.
That girl look like her parents are cousins. And you expected her to get on that podcast and clear her name? She says she has good genes. What was she going to say? Exactly. And then Zendaya, we trust. Because I didn't even need to say, Zendaya, you need to separate yourself from her. She's already done it. I love Zendaya. She said she's refusing to promote Euphoria with Sydney Sweeney. I'm so freaking happy. Like, I'm so happy. And she got the nerve to say, I'm more aware than people think. Like, oh, so you part of the KKK too? You the poster child?
Zendaya is refusing to do press with Sydney Sweeney for the new season of Euphoria. I knew I loved her for a reason. Now, it is alleged, but obviously this would be due to the fact that Sydney had that crazy racist ad going on with American Eagle. And then she hangs out with Trump. Her family are openly red hat wearers. She was at fucking Jeff Bezos' wedding. Like, she has something to do with him and she's deeply connected when you're at Jeff Bezos' wedding. That or you're out here doing favors for old men. And then to top it off, the other day Sydney had an interview where the interviewer literally asked her to clear up or clear her name when it came to the American Eagle ad. And what did Sweeney have to say? She basically said, I am not on your team. I am sitting on the other side. I am fully aware of it and I'm proud of it. She said that she knows what was going on and if she had anything to address, she would have addressed it. So obviously she had no problem with the discourse that was going on. Anyone who had a problem with that would have clearly said I know how it came, but that wasn't the intentions, and I apologize for any discomfort or any feelings that I hurt. So if it comes out to be true that Zendaya is refusing to do promo with her, I'm gonna love that, and I'm gonna be so proud of her, because not everyone is willing to stand up for the right thing, especially in Hollywood.
And I guess wokeness is back because nobody cared to even watch this film by Sydney Sweeney. Now, the sad thing about this film debuting as one of 9 or one of 12 of the worst box openings this weekend is that Christy's story should have been told. We're just going to start from the top. So, according to Discussing Films, this movie by the name of Christy, who was being portrayed by Sydney Sweeney, had opened in 2,000 theaters and had only marked about $1.05 million in sales, which again, put it at the time it was released as the 9th worst box opening film in US history to now the 12th. Now, this biopic is the portrayal of Christy Martin. She is inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and she was having a lot of struggles on and off the ring. According to Pe0ple magazine, Christy, who was in a same-sex relationship in high school, then ended up marrying her husband Jim, wanted to divorce him. And because she had told him, hey, I wanted to rekindle my relationship with my previous partner, he stabbed her. He did. He literally stabbed her. And he shot her. He stabbed her and shot her. Now, this happened back in 2010, and by 2012, after all of that ended up being settled out, she ended up retiring from boxing and then ended up being inducted in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. She ended up being the first woman to be elected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So she ended up having this like incredible career and incredible life. And the sad part about it is that most people don't even know about it because of Sydney Sweeney portraying her in this biopic. But when you do ads about jeans and then double down on it when people told you that it was a lot of racist dog whistles, anything that Sydney Sweeney is going to touch is going to fail. And that's sad because Christy Martin's story should have been told because it discusses women in athletic sports, domestic violence, and just so much more. And I feel really bad for the person who was being depicted in this film because I feel like her story is not told, and it sucks because look at the person telling it.
There's such a deep web when it comes to Sydney Sweeney, the Ellis family, and Mr. Orange Man over here. I'm gonna save it for Substack. We're gonna talk about this girl right here because her new movie flopped at the box office this opening weekend. It opened to $1.3 million, making it one of the most worst opening weekends of all time for a film that was released in over 2,000 theaters. Now, if you want to look at the weekend box office, this is what it looked like. Predator Badlands was always going to open on #1. It's a franchise movie. The rest of the films in the top 10 are all having their second or more weekend at the box office. The reason why people are talking about this specifically is because the week of the film's release, Sydney Sweeney did a sit down with GQ for their Man of the Year cover, and she was asked about the American Eagle ad, and she gave the most white girl answer. Now, I don't think she expected for MAGA to not come out and support the film. I think with the current state of the country, she just thought that people were just going to go just because. Now, before I started filming this video, she came out and spoke about the box office disappointment, saying that this story is important and it helped so many people in bringing awareness to Christy's story. I don't think she realizes that her public image and bad PR overshadowed the entire film itself. Not all press is good press, and bad press is going to mess up your opening weekend as well as your overall box office and chances at award buzz. Now, her next movie is The Housemaid. It comes out December 19th, so right before Christmas. It's a book adaptation. It was a popular series. And baby, I don't know if Amanda Seyfried can carry the torch of the press tour because with this damn campaign, you out with Scooter Braun, and just the overall oversaturation of her and so many projects, this was
Whoever recasted Sydney Sweeney is just as problematic as her. Because it's like, if you already know that she has problems with the main actor, Zendaya, and if you know that she now has problems with I don't know how to say her name, why would you, by like all means, why would you recast her as if her acting isn't something that could be replaced? It's not amazing. It's not subpar, but it's not amazing. So why didn't you just replace her? You took forever to give it to us anyway. We could have waited a little bit longer if that means recasting her, not recasting her.
Let's talk about Sydney Sweeney. We all can agree that Sydney Sweeney was the biggest target for cancel culture this year. And it all started off with her American Eagle campaign. And for the first time last week in an interview, she addressed all the controversy. And her response is kind of suspicious.
Were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad.
The reaction definitely was a surprise, but I love jeans.
Her jean ad was so huge that Donald Trump tweeted about it, which led to her political views being public. And Zendaya is not happy about it. The Daily Mail reports that Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney are in a bitter feud over differences in their political beliefs. Zendaya is reportedly refusing joint interviews and red carpet photos with Sydney Sweeney while promoting Euphoria. But that's not all, because Sydney Sweeney has earned 4 flop movies, with 3 of them being box office releases, the most for any actor in 2025. And the movies they're referring to is Echo Valley, Eden, Americana, and Christy. The actress Ruby Rose calls Sydney Sweeney a cretin as her movie Christy tanks at box office. Let's be honest, the only thing that's gonna uplift Sydney Sweeney's career is Euphoria. And guys, that's not all. Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun has made their relationship public. They were spotted kissing on a rock in Central Park. And they knew what they were doing because they saw the camera and they started making out. Sydney is unbothered. What do you guys think about
Sydney Sweeney's movie flopped tremendously. Tremendously. This is her 3rd movie that she starred in this year that flopped. I think it's safe to say that, for one, she's not a leading actress. She does not thrive where she is the lead. She's good in Euphoria because she's not the lead. And also, she pandered to the wrong audience. So obviously she got a lot of hate on her ad with, I believe it was Abercrombie and Fitch, where they played into genetics and her being, genetically the favorite because she has blonde hair and blue eyes. And, they tried to do a play on jeans and actual denim jeans, and it just did not go over well. It just was not it. And then recently she did an interview where she was asked about white supremacy and, basically asked to denounce it. And she basically said, she dodged the question. She didn't want to answer. And she said, long story short, if I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it, and I don't care. So it's safe to say that, she does feel superior because she's white, and maybe there's a little racism there. That's not what the video is about. I think, based on her actions, some of the interviews that she's done, she panders to white men, okay? She panders to incels, conservative men who don't respect women. So the only thing that she would be successful at, with that being her target audience, is OnlyFans. But they're not going to support any of your projects that you do because they don't support women, right? And I know people are going to say, well, she got paid regardless. Yeah, she did. But in the future, she might have trouble booking different roles because history has now shown, her track record is showing that her movies don't do well. And maybe the movie could have done well with a different lead. I don't know, but I didn't watch the movie. There wasn't a lot of marketing for it. It didn't look like a movie I was going to watch anyway, but I didn't even know about the other two, but just.
Shout out to Sydney Sweeney, right? Because she got something that a lot of these mainstream people, a lot of these celebrities, they just don't have it. Cojones, principles, and a damn backbone. She actually stands on business. When the woke mob comes for her and they try to, because I know y'all seen that interview. I know y'all seen that little excerpt from that interview. That's just going viral. Great job. This is how you deal with the woke mob. This is exactly how you deal with people who just try to cancel you for doing a simple ad promoting some jeans. The woke mob tried to catch her out in that interview asking her that question, right? And she didn't apologize, as she should not have. Because we all know what happens when you apologize to the woke mob. A lot of celebrities can learn from this. A lot of people who are very famous on the internet can really learn from this. When the woke mob comes after you, you don't bend, you don't fold, you don't try to pull some PR stunt or give a politically correct answer. You stand on what you said before. Because let's be honest, your integrity is gonna be questioned once you trickle back and you try to go back on what you said. Y'all want a perfect example? Look at Joey Swole. When Hulk Hogan died, he posted a tribute to Hulk Hogan saying that he was one of his greatest heroes and, he respected Hulk Hogan. The whole woke mob came after him, right? Oh, he was a racist. He told his daughter he doesn't want her dating a nigga. Look what they did to that man when he apologized, right? Worst thing he could have ever done. And Joey Swole, he looks like a great person. Like, you know what I'm saying? A guy with he's just trying to help people out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really watch his content like that, but just off of, the way how he apologized, I could tell that he was sincere. But you can't apologize to the woke mob. Like, they're going to use it against you. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. He bent the knee, thoughting that they were going to forgive him. Nah, they just attacked him even harder. This is exactly how the woke mob works. They don't want apologies. They want control. They want you to be embarrassed, obedient, and humiliated. So, not just celebrities. Anybody could take an example out of, the Sydney Sweeney interview. When you have a point and you firmly believe that, because listen, this is America. This is we can have our own opinions, right? You're free to think whatever the hell you want as long as you're not inciting violence, right? A lot of people can learn from that. If you have a stance and you stand by something, just because somebody's questioning your ideology doesn't mean that you have to bend the knee and apologize, or somebody's offended by something that you say, you don't necessarily have to bend the knee and fold to them. You cannot apologize it's never worth apologizing to people who were never going to forgive you in the first place. You stand firm, tall on stage.
Honey, because if you think Zendaya is not doing any press with Miss Sydney Sweeney down here just because of some jean commercial, you got another thing coming. Tell me how my best friend had to give me this damn tea, because, honey, nobody's really talking about it that much, but everybody's saying that, oh, it's because she, doesn't like the whole MAGA thing and the whole American Eagle ad. No, it has nothing to, it could be the icing on the cake, of course, but it has all to do with you liking some weird tweets about Tom Holland. A lot of fans that will repost him and say, oh my God, he's so fine. He's this, he's that. She was liking them. And honey, we got the screenshots. If you look at the video, you can see all the screenshots. Apparently, this was back in 2021, the same year it was announced that they were dating. Okay. So, and then they also said that he would show up to the set of Euphoria multiple times to see Zendaya. They also said that these two didn't get along, and they said she ain't like her because she was trying to get her man. And honestly, if that's the case, Zendaya, I do not mind. And I really wouldn't mind if you didn't want to, if it was just about the American Eagle stuff. But really, yeah, honey, you a little bit too friendly. It's time to wrap this show up, child, so everybody can go in their own separate ways, child. Because, girl, this is crazy. What did y'all?
They are on a press run for not insecure, Utopia, Euphoria. And God knows, I don't even know why they bringing this shit back, because these people is 35 years old playing high schoolers. And I don't give a good goddamn what Zendaya used on her face. I don't give a good goddamn what Sydney Sweeney used on her face and what type of soap they put in between their legs and in their butt. Neither one of them hoes look 17. Okay? Now, I ain't saying they look old. They look damn good. I don't know what the hell type of movie magic that they asked me to do on Euphoria season 3. But them hoes, honestly and truthfully, their hoe on the right look like Kate plus 8. Y'all cannot tell me she don't look like John and Kate plus 8 over there on the right. That lady look like she got 5 years, 2 kids, and a dog. Okay? And Zendaya, honey, you better turn to the left and pucker and let that light catch you on the right-hand side, because, baby, if it catch you straight on, your ass is going to give a strong 20-something. Nevertheless, they bringing it back for the third season, the third and final season, because these hoes finna be 30 trying to play 17-year-olds, and ain't nobody believing it. I'm trying to, Quentin, do the story. The people say Zendaya don't want to stand next to Whitefish. Maybe she said Whitefish did that ad, and that Zendaya is just not with it. They said on the press tour for season 3, one source explained it's a difficult position for Zendaya because if she stands next to Sydney on the red carpet, it can be read as her excusing Sydney's views on Trump and her refusal to apologize for the racist ad. The tension reportedly stems from Sweeney's involvement with American Eagle jeans, as critics. Things allegedly worsened when Sweeney doubled down on the ad in a recent GQ interview, saying, when I have an issue, I want to speak about it, people will hear. So here's the thing. I met Zendaya once at the Essence Festival. I don't know Zendaya from a bag of rocks. All right. But Zendaya is much like Cardi B, and she's much like some of these other artists who are products of a label, products of a movie house, products of a network. And my spirit is telling me that this is not personal between Zendaya and Leah Sweeney, whatever that girl, Sydney Sweeney. My spirit is telling me that this is not personal. My spirit is telling me, them people saying, she got too many contracts and beautiful things on the line, and we have to keep Zendaya's brand clean. We don't want any crossover, and not to mention, it also may be a play because it's kind of like quiet as it's kept. I honestly think Euphoria could have came out and would nobody had no issue with Zendaya standing next to that damn girl. Quiet as it's kept. We forgot all about that tired ass Jean ad. This also makes Zendaya look better because now she done brought this shit back to life. But she's signaling to the advertisers, look guys, I'm clean. You want family friendly? You want a big Disney movie? I'm clean. I'm not over there with her. You want to put me in the next Jumanji? I'm clean. You want to do a reboot of That's So Raven? I'm clean. There's no scandal with me. I don't hang with scandal people. You don't see me at scandal parties. You don't. That girl says she don't want that MAGA stuff on her doggone brand. She says she don't want that MAGA stuff on her brand, and by God, by no means necessary, should she have it there. Now, speaking of somebody who don't want something on their brand, I'm thinking about to bring Keita on this thing. Because we got a lot.
If you were dumb enough to pretend that racism was a thing of the past, look no further than how Variety just reacted to the new Sydney Sweeney film. Thus, they just made a post claiming that it made $1.3 million in its opening weekend, but they didn't mention the fact that it has a $40 million budget and it was open in over 2,000 plus theaters, making it one of the worst financial openings for a blockbuster movie of all time. However, the same exact company made a post when Sinners came out and it was actually being a commercial success, basically trying to berate the film and saying that it had a long way to go before they recouped their budget. And it is very blatantly obvious that the only reason they tried to undermine and berate the success of Sinners is because of the fact that the film was created by and stars primarily only black people. Sydney Sweeney is treated with kitty gloves by the same exact company with her third box office bomb in the past 3 months, even after this interview where she literally refused to deny her own supremacy to other individuals based upon how dark they are. Ultimately, I feel it says a lot not only about the company Variety, but also this actor herself because of the fact that she has no problem with literally being a straight up bigoted individual in this interview, while starring in a biopic film that is meant to represent the LGBT community and represent female empowerment, as if that is somehow not in the same ballpark as not being a racist. However, this does confirm a fact that most of us refuse to admit, that individuals who are in the LGBT community and those who support the LGBT community can also be very racist, and those two are.
Yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Yeah.
This is all I got from this video. I love to say things like this because some people think they can eat their cake and have it back. No, bro, you cannot eat your cake and still have it back. I love this for her because sometimes some people do some certain things without knowing the implications. This one actually came right too fast because why not? Why not? Let me tell us something. Sometimes you think you are progressing, being mean, being wicked, right? Being racist, not knowing that you are not at all progressing. You are not even going anywhere. You are just running in circle. Yeah, you heard me right. So you remember that she did interview a few days ago that I posted her video, and not even up to how many days she released it. Maybe she did that interview thinking that when the movie is out, that it's going to make money because people will be like, oh, let me see what she has to show us and all that, because some people believe that no PR is actually a bad PR, but sometimes, yeah, you heard me right. Sometimes. So now her movie flopped, right? And she was supposed to be on red carpet for something. I think she and Zendaya were supposed to do something together. Zendaya said, no, I ain't doing shit with you. Why? Because of who you who you are, what you think, what you say. Because sometimes your mouth will be your biggest problem. Because as it stands, it's actually your biggest problem. I love it for her. Now, I think I did a video before where I was telling people that the way you treat black people as whoever you are, I don't care. can actually marry you or like crumble you. You might actually be lucky that some days you escape it, but on the bad day you will not escape it. You will be caught, and you will receive your reward, because at this point it is her reward that she is receiving. She has a great gene. I hope that she okay, I hope that great gene she has, I hope it pays her bill, because she's going to continue to eat, spend from the money that she made from that ads for the rest of her life. Because as it stands, people are woke. I love this kind of era. I love it. Because people think they can wake up and be racist openly, trying to tell people that you have better IQ, that the rest fell from the sky. You are the one that was created properly. The rest, I don't know how they were created. That is how disgusting. Because this is what actually she said. She has better gene and other people. I don't know where you guys got your gene from. Some people are the ones that cause problem for themselves, because at this point, it is everything she did that is backfiring. Her business crumbling, her own personal career about to shatter. You haven't seen anything. People got to be very careful with what they do. Not being careful. One thing with them is that when you are racist, you cannot hide it, because you cannot be careful. Why can they not be careful? Because they feel like everybody you have to be racist too. So they do it openly, thinking that is the norm. And why they are trying to be openly racist, they get caught up in their racism. So she get caught up in her racism. I am glad that people are beginning to see the people they work with, because some places, your workplaces and other, there was a video I saw some days ago about a black girl who was at work and her colleague, boom, N-word. N-word. That is how disgusting it is. I will draw my car in here. Bye for now.